We can shine in a crowd, we never hesitate. Let us rise to the clouds.
1, 2, 3, go, 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 go. 1, 2, 3, go, go, go. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, go, go.
My fellow Dreamaholics, it is great to be with you. And a Dreamaholic is somebody who is completely dedicated to making their passions and dreams become a tangible reality. Great to be with you. Now, got a question for you. Have you ever been absolutely, totally petrified to do something? You know, have you ever had to face a fear? Oh boy. Well, you saw based on that clip a fear that I had to face, and that was being my fear of heights when not being restrained, where there's no real constraints. And what I mean by a constraint, like for example, if you put me on a roller coaster, no problem, hands in the air, let's go. but being on top of this little cliff, and although it looked like a little cliff, that was about a 30-foot drop. Like for me, that's a big deal. Like some of y'all are like, it's not soft. For me, that's a big deal. And I was absolutely petrified. I want to use this as an example to be able to show you how you can conquer fear. And not everything was absolutely captured here, but what I want to do is I want to share this with you so that you can get a taste of exactly what I was dealing with. And then at the end, I'm going to share with you some hidden gems of how I was able to get through one of the most challenging experiences I've ever had. So take a look, and then we'll see you back in a second, and I'm going to help you break through any fear that's holding you back from God's best.
One leaf, one big leaf, yeah. Let go of the rail, let go of the rail. Don't sleep, man, it's water. No, you're not going to just relax. You're not going to hit the bottom, you got the jacket. At 1, 2, 3, you plunge right back up. Come out here and run out, man. Stop. I got you on the video, yeah. Or you could hold one of the rail and push yourself off. But don't try to come back because you will hurt yourself, your feet. Can do it. Yeah, man, take a deep breath and go for it, man. A lot of people do it, so you can do it too. And you can dive if you want to. You could dive if you want. Man, just that one leap and you're not one leap and don't turn back. Go for it, they got the video as proof. At the count of 3 you go. 1, 2, 3, go, 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 go. 1, 2, 3, go, go, go. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, go, go. 1, 2, 3, go, go, go. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, man. Relax, relax. Yeah.
I made it. Woo! Yes, I finally did it. I got in. We got through it. But here's what that video did not capture. That wasn't my first time up on that hill, up there. And because when I first climbed up, I got flashbacks to when I was a kid. And I never forget being at a public swimming pool with my cousins. And they had the small diving board, then they had the big diving board, right? And I climbed up this thing. I'm like, yeah, I got this, no problem, no problem. But the further up I went on this thing, oh boy, like this, the people seem to be getting way smaller. And that distance seemed like, woo, good Lord. Hey, woo, yeah, okay, right? And so I'd be on this diving board at this top, and everybody's like, yeah, you can do it. Come on. Yeah, let's go. And I'm dying inside. Like, it's like, I'm like, somebody please just say, no, don't be stupid, you're crazy. Come back down here. And I'll be like, yes, thank you so much for talking me out of this foolishness. You know, but nobody was doing that. And on top of that, there was a real cute girl that I really liked. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because this is like, I'm in hell now. I'm in hell, right? Like this. And I ended up going right back down this thing and crawling back down the steps of that diving board. I'll never forget the feeling of how mortified I was, because the people around looking at me, staring at me, they're like, hey man, hey, not a big deal, man. Hey man, not a big deal. Oh man, it's okay, next time around. But internally, the way I interpreted that was them going like this, look at this chicken. And laughing behind. It was mortifying. I'm a black man, but you would have seen my face beat red, okay? Like this, it would have been, I'm sure they could probably even tell because, yeah, it was like that. So as I'm on this in Jamaica, standing on this platform, and I'm looking down, 30-foot drop, and I'm like, oh my God, scared out of my mind. You know what I mean? And I actually walked off the first time. I walked off, and I went back into the water. And you want to know what caused me to turn back around and get back up on that? Get back up on there, on the ledge. There was my auntie Deashiba. She's a reverend in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, and that day she had a gentleman with her who she was helping out. This guy was really down on his luck. He's having a rough to go at life, and she's been helping to support him. You know, and because she's got a heart the size of Jamaica, like she's a really, really amazing lady. And when I was going into the water, and he said, and he said, "Oh, so you didn't do the jump?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't do it, man." And he says, "Yeah, that's scary anyway. You shouldn't even bother trying that stuff. Just leave that stuff alone." And he says, "You know, you don't need that." And the way the man was talking to me, the more he was talking, although he's trying to encourage me, the more of a coward I felt like. And I'm looking at his situation in life. And now again, this is without judgment of anybody, in anybody's situation, but I didn't get to where I am by not taking chances. I didn't get to where I am by not facing fear. And I'm here as a coach teaching people how to overcome their fear, whether it's of public speaking, approaching strangers with what they're doing, defying sometimes what their family wants them to do because their families don't think they should pursue their dreams, and and their family think they should do what their family thinks they should do, but they have something that God put in their heart for them to do, and I'm telling them to go conquer fear, and here am I running away. So when this guy started talking to me and all this stuff, I was like, oh, hell no. I'm going right back up here. I'm going back up on that freaking cliff, and I'm not getting beaten this time. Not happening. So I get back at the top of this cliff, and that's when you saw the first video they deleted because they thought I left. You know what I mean? Like this. Otherwise, I'd show you that one when I walked and came off, because I'm about full transparency. I was scared out the wazazazoo. I was scared. Yeah. And so each time that the guy was coaxing me, now you have to remember, I wasn't going on some unassumed cliff where nobody knew what the depth of the water was, with no guide or people who didn't know what they were doing. You know, that's called reckless, okay? The people call it being a daredevil. That's not what this was. This is, so when I say, not wanting to be a coward, it wasn't from a standpoint of, well, this was actually going to necessarily be life-threatening. It was what I had built in my mind. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because I think people should be intelligent and you shouldn't be goaded into dumb stuff by people, you know what I mean, and end up in a situation that was 100 times worse. That's not what we're talking. That's not what I'm saying here. Okay, so just to be clear. So the guide kept encouraging me. Yeah, you can do it. Keep going. You heard them cheering me on. Yeah, you can do it. And it reminded me of that swimming pool. And I'm like, oh my God, here I am again. Woo! So I'm getting up, and each time you saw me going like this, and I'm getting frustrated because I'm getting pissed off at myself. Come on, man. Other people are doing this. It's not a big deal. You can do this, man. Let's go. And then I finally got to a point where I said, you know what? I guess I'm doing this. Forget it. I'm just going to do this. And that's when I finally came to the end and said, let's go. And I jumped in because I had to remind myself that the person who was guiding me wasn't going to let me go into harm's way. They knew what they were doing. They were being paid to be there. And if there was a problem, they could jump into the water. But I knew how to swim. You know what I mean? So that wasn't the issue. So, so I'd be good. The feeling I got from taking that leap and going into that water, and that feeling of, yes, I conquered this shit. You feel me? You know what I mean? Like this, it's like one of the most liberating feelings ever. And I want everybody to have that feeling, because when you can conquer one thing, you know you can conquer another, and then another, and another. You learn to face fear and be like, okay, let's fight. You know, there's a saying that fear is a coward. When you face it, it runs away. And I was like, knuckle up, baby, let's go. What have you been afraid of? What have you been holding back from? What are you allowing, opportunities have you allowed to pass you by because of fear? And what is it costing you? I would tell you the biggest thing that fear is costing you is the most fulfilled life experience that you could have. And as soon as you give into fear, it starts with one thing, then it spills into others. How do you get past this? Well, first of all, after you've already assessed the fact that the danger that you are concerned about is one that's in your mind. So as an example, somebody's afraid to maybe public speak or get in front of people. Going in front of that crowd isn't going to kill you, it's not going to destroy you, it's not going to hurt you. Not getting on that stage and not speaking, that can hurt you. Why? Because once you give into fear of that, you give into other things as well. And you start living what's called a compromised life. You don't want to live with compromise. You want to live with certainty. You want to live on principle, not compromise. Not when it comes to things that scare you. When something scares you, that's when you need to attack it. My very first time going out there to public speak, my very first time, I was scared out of my mind. And I got up on stage, the lights were on, and this was in front of, I was a camp counselor, you know what I mean? And I was there and I had to deliver a message to the parents, you know, and my first time actually going up on this stage, and my mind went blank and I was like, oh my God, and I ran off the stage. And the guy, my leader reminded me, he says, Noel, listen. Because I felt, first of all these eyes were on me and everybody was judging me and all that kind of stuff. That's how I felt. And he said to me, he says, Noel, first of all, they have no idea what you're going to say, so you can't screw it up. It's impossible to screw it because they had no idea what you were there to say. 2, there's somebody in that audience who needs you. Think about that person and get going. And just go have some fun with it. Relax. And I was like, okay. So then he called, so I said, so I'm figuring I'm going to be doing this another day. He says, okay, I'm calling you up again. I'm like, what, now? Shit. You know, I thought you meant in the future. And anyways, went back up, did it, and, you know, and it felt so good to overcome it. I want to encourage you to take a look at something that's been holding you back. And I want you to think about what's the worst that could happen. So that's step 1. What's the worst thing that can happen? Some people laugh. Okay, so what? If people say, oh, you're crappy at what you do. Okay, so what? That's an opinion. Get a little embarrassed. Okay. You still alive? Yeah, so the embarrassment's okay, right? It takes getting past that first time. As I'm shooting these videos, I already know that there could be hate that comes at me. I've been warned. As soon as you start getting successful, people just hate's going to start coming at you. People are going to write crazy stuff in the comments. I'm doing this for the people who need what I'm giving. The hell with the rest of them. Does that make sense? I'm here for the people who want this, who need this. So I'm over it. The fear of rejection, the fear of somebody not liking a video, fear of a thumbs down. But if you don't like it, just let me know in the comments why. That'd be great. You know, it'd be like this. And so now I could improve it or make it better. Or maybe I just think that you're just having a bad day and maybe you need a hug. You know what I'm saying? Let it roll off. But that inner confidence comes from taking that step towards fear, taking that step. So I just want to encourage you to think about what's the worst thing that can happen. And then I want you to think about, well, what's the best thing that can happen out of it? And that reward, how would it feel to know that you got past this thing? Let that guide you and say, okay, you know what? just so that even if I never do this again, I have to know that I beat this. I have to know that I conquered this. I have to know I'm not turning around with my tail between my legs. Not going to happen. Not today. And take that step. Let me know what step you're going to take. Let me know. Like this. And I'd love to hear about the results. I will tell you, it is the most liberating feeling ever. It's the most liberating feeling ever. If you've had to endure a worst case scenario, rejection, people disrespecting you, people giving their opinions, whatever the case may be, once you've taken their worst punch, now you can punch back. Once you know you can take their worst punch and you can handle, woo! Okay, I took the worst of it. Let's go. Because you're still standing, you're still breathing, you're still living, which means you still have a chance. Face that fear, whatever it happens to be. Let me know in the comments what it is. I hope you got massive value from this today, and have a truly powerful day, and let's continue to grow together.
We can shine in a crowd, we never hesitate. Let us rise to the clouds.